staff report.
While making significant efforts to address overcrowding in Preston.
And we investigate how the death of a UNL student is affecting Greek life on campus. Our top story next.
This is Star City News, live at 5.
Welcome to Star City News. I'm Doug Lowry.
And I'm Rachel Hofstra. Today's top story is related to the Farmhouse fraternity brothers who are fighting felony charges due to the death of freshman Clayton Reel. They are being charged with providing alcohol for minors, resulting in death. The consequences of these actions have been felt campus-wide. We go live to Amsley Sinkbile with more. Amsley?
This is where Clayton died, at Farmhouse Fraternity. But this tragic accident affects more than the men in this house. It affects the entire Greek system.
New rules are restricting what students can drink. Fraternity coordinator for Greek Affairs, Luke Brescher, says new rules were necessary because the student drinking culture had taken a shift for the worst.
What we've been learning over the past few years is that students more frequently are going out with the intention to black out.
Brescher says he knows these new policies will be a struggle at first, but when students get on board, progress will be made quickly.
And if these new expectations become the norm, then other groups will start to follow those as well.
IFC recruitment director Josh Johnson doesn't think underage drinking will ever disappear in college, but he thinks that the Greek system can be a safer place with alcohol education.
If new members are educated better on how to safely do it, on how it affects their body, how it affects their studies, how it affects their brain, then I think they'll be able to make more informed and hopefully more responsible decisions with alcohol.
Some of these policies include no longer serving hard alcohol, making sure there are individually wrapped snacks and water bottles, and at least 10% of each chapter must remain sober. For the complete list of these policies, go to unl.edu/Greek. Reporting live for Star City News, I'm Amsley Sinkbile.
Thanks, Amsley. Jury duty is unavoidable, but a new phone scam might have you believing otherwise. 2 Lincoln women have already been tricked into paying over $1,000 to people posing as law enforcement. The scammers are telling people they have warrants out for their arrest because they missed jury duty. There are no warrants, and they were never summoned for jury duty.
This was a $1,300 loss. I know LPD worked a case yesterday or the day before with a $1,200 loss. So people just need to be aware and be smart about this.
If you receive any phone calls that seem out of the ordinary, please request that you contact them immediately.
The bill to allow the Keystone Pipeline is just one step away from being passed. Congress has approved the bill, and now it's up to President Barack Obama, who has vowed to veto it. If the president does decide to veto the bill, it will take 2/3 vote in both the Senate and the House to overturn it. With all the hustle and bustle on campus, there's no time for students and faculty to go work out. Fit at Work gives these people this chance with a little bit of time during lunch.
Once a month, UNL students, faculty, and staff will gather to work out at the Cook Pavilion. Fit at Work is a program that employees and students can take 15 to 30 minutes out of their busy day to take the first step towards living a healthier lifestyle.
We just really wanted to give people another way to be active during their day at work, and this is a really great free way that we can do that.
The first thing you're going to do here at Fit at Work is spin the wheel to see what exercise you get. And I got skater lunges. So what you're going to do is you're going to give it a couple of these like you're dancing. It's fluid in motion.
Good job.
And then after that, you will take one lap, and that will happen 6 times, so you run just over a mile.
This would be a perfect time for me. Sometimes we don't get a full 30 minutes for a lunch hour, though, so.
And I often work over my lunch hour, which I know I shouldn't do. But I don't know, if it was a regular thing, I'd probably concentrate on coming more.
Fit at Work, in its second year, has provided UNL employees and students the opportunity to get into shape. and the coordinators of this program hope it becomes more useful for people across campus in the years to come. For Star City News, I'm Devin Cleach reporting.
If you're looking to take part in Fit at Work, the next event will be held on March 12th from 11:30 to 12:30.
And love is in the air. Star City's John Kipper found out what Lincoln citizens are up to this Valentine's Day.
Okay, so if you could set up your ideal Valentine's Day date, what would you do? Anything you want.
Ideal Valentine's Day date? I'd have to go back to elementary school and have like a Valentine box. Just get it from a bunch of people, get a bunch of candy and cards.
Prison reform is a hot topic these days,
especially in the wake of many inmates such as Nico Jenkins accidentally getting off for good time last year. Star City News reporter Ingrid Holmquist has more.
And politicians are saying prison overcrowding is a huge issue. I went to the state capitol to discuss what can be done with some state legislators.
Jenkins was let out early because of the good time law. The department has been under the microscope after Jenkins and hundreds of other inmates were released early.
The worst scandal in the history of corrections occurred in Nebraska, and it brought forth a lot of complicated issues that we're trying to address by way of legislation.
Senators Ernie Chambers and Patty Pansing-Brooks both brought bills to the legislature yesterday addressing prison reform.
Basically what it does is makes it so that any verdict would not, the minimum that can be given is not going to be greater than 1/3 of the maximum that can be given for that offense.
Senator Chambers supplements this bill with a proposal to eliminate the minimum for mid-level felony charges and a second bill that would eliminate mandatory minimum sentences for habitual criminals.
Too many people are jamming out in our system right now. We have overcrowding. 167% of our prisons are we're over capacity by 167%.
Many say mandatory minimums would help with the overcrowding issue by providing incentives to prisoners to behave and qualify for good time credit.
We have a high recidivism rate, and we need to make sure that people get the programming, and it helps our society be safer, and it helps us as a community to know that those whom we are incarcerating will come out better people than they were when they went in.
The issue is complicated, and if we had more time, both you and I, then I would be willing to talk about this issue to a greater extent.
Senator Chambers says this issue is far too complicated to discuss in a single soundbite. He said it could take hours to really truly flesh this out with me. For Star City News, I'm Ingrid Holmquist.
Thanks, Ingrid. The 5th largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history made 3 lucky winners quite a bit richer last night. The winners are from North Carolina, Texas, and Puerto Rico, and will each take home a little more than $110 million. One Nebraskan from Lincoln and another from Grand Island each won a smaller prize of $10,000 from last night's drawing. We asked a few people what they would do if they had won the jackpot.
First thing I would do is go watch a World Cup.
First of all, I would make sure that everyone who has given me good things in life so far, they get their share and they are taken care of.
One of CBS's most respected journalists passed away last night. 60 Minutes correspondent Bob Simon was killed in a car accident when his driver lost control and collided with another vehicle. Simon started with CBS in 1967. He covered everything from the Vietnam War to Iraqi insurgency leaders. He was an expert in his field and will be missed by many.
And now, a look at the forecast with Star City weather.
Good evening, Lincoln. I'm Casey Coranda with your Valentine's Day forecast across the country. Let's take a look. We've got Loveland, Washington at 50 degrees. We're going to have Bouquet Canyon, California at 72, so a little bit warmer. We've got Love, Illinois at 6 degrees, and then we have Heart Lake, Pennsylvania at 16. So generally nice weather and perfect for those Valentine's Day dates you've got, or just to stay at home and snuggle. With more on your Lincoln weather, here's Emily Lockenmeyer.
Thanks, Casey.
Let's take a look at your current temperatures here in the Star City. 19 degrees right now with those southwest winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour, making it feel like 7 degrees. So that slight wind chill, keeping it cool out there. So if you plan on going out anymore this evening, make sure you're bundling up and avoiding those cold temperatures. Looking into the almanac for today, our low at 18 degrees here, keeping within these couple-digit high and low temperatures, just above that low average and below that average high that we've been seeing typically here for this time of year. Looking into our hourly forecast this evening, 20 degrees come 6 p.m., not cooling down significantly, 19 degrees come 6 a.m. That cloud cover that we're experiencing now is what's going to keep these temperatures what they are currently. Looking at our across the state temperatures, 35 up in Valentine, 33 in McCook, and 25 in Hastings. As we move out east, we're looking at 18 in Omaha, 19 in Columbus, and 16 up in Sioux City, Iowa. Looking at tonight's temperatures, 18 degrees, mostly cloudy, going to keep those temperatures where they are. South-southeast winds, we're still going to stay in that 5 to 10 mile per hour range, so we're not going to be picking up any, but it'll still be brisk. Looking at our surface feature map here, we see this warm front moving through the Nebraska area. This is actually for tomorrow, which is what's going to give us these nice 40 temperatures. 44 for our high tomorrow, 26 come at 9 a.m., warming up to our high at 3 p.m., and then cooling down into 39 come 6 p.m. So it'll actually be nice for you as you head home from work tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at our surface feature map, for Saturday, this cold front that was over the Dakotas is going to be moving through our area and going to give us those cooler temperatures come Valentine's Day. As you can see, we have a chance for flurries there, 27 degrees on Valentine's Day. As we move into Sunday's, chance for snow again, 26 degrees. And as we move into next work week, we see a chance for snow on President's Day, 32 degrees there, and then breezy come Tuesday, 21 degrees. And as we head into Wednesday, 29 degrees, and Thursday is going to be at that mid-30s, 34 degrees. So not a bad week ahead of us.
I think I'm definitely going to stay inside for Valentine's Day.
Yes, it probably is going to be the best. It looks like it's going to be quite cool across the country.
And then you said there's going to be snow on President's Day.
The outlook is very favorable for that.
Oh, man. We're going to be back after this break, but for now, we're going to go back to John Kipper, finding out about what Lincoln is doing for Valentine's Day.
I think I would go to Colorado, get up early and go on a really awesome hike, and then have lunch at the top, and then go back down the mountain and go to a fancy restaurant, and then go back to wherever we're staying and sit in the hot tub.
Hello, I'm Dustin Hoffman with your sports update. The Nebraska baseball season starts tomorrow and with some high expectations.
Pitch, ground ball underneath Hirsch's glove. Kelly behind the bag, jump, throws, out at first. Lined into center field, coming in, and it drops for a base hit. Rolling through, running home is Austin Christensen. Jake Rotson. The 1-2 pitch, fastball, base hit, center field.
Preseason ranked 23rd and opens up the season tomorrow in Las Vegas against the NIV. Under head coach Darren Erstad, the Huskers are steadily improving. They finished with a 41-21 record between the NCAA tournament bid last season. Outfielder Ryan Bolt and pitcher Chance Sinclair.
I mean, what I try to do when I go out.
One addition to the team is assistant coach Mike Kirby. He coached for Cal State Fullerton last season, and they knocked Nebraska out of the NCAA tournament. This year, Nebraska hosts a 3-game series with his old team. On the women's side, the Huskers softball team is 4-1 and heading to Tallahassee for the Unconquered Invitational. Florida State is hosting the regional and is ranked 6th in the nation. Nebraska will play them on Friday and again on Sunday. Basketball season is in full swing, and the Nebraska women's team faces the 13th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes tonight. The Huskers lost Iowa for the first time ever, January 26th in overtime. They have lost 2 games in a row with star guard Rachel Terrio out, but she should be back tonight as the Huskers look to finish strong and earn a better seed for the Big Ten tournament. That's all for sports. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Now let's send it back to Doug and Rachel.
Hey, I know you're going to that game tonight. Are you going to be bringing your girlfriend with you?
Nah, she's not a big fan of going to the games.
You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, well, I should probably go see the dating coach that's tonight. For more on that, here's to Michael Shively with U News.
I'm Michael Shively with U News, your source of campus news. With Valentine's Day coming up, it's easy to focus on couples, but what about single folks? University Programming Council invited nationally renowned dating coach Adam LaDolce to talk to the Love Challenged. LaDolce's coaching focuses on improving a person's self-confidence and encouraging them to be comfortable approaching anyone.
I mean, what I try to do when I go out with people is we are talking to everyone and anyone so that when that perfect person does come in, you are just ready to go. Your brain is just on fire and you are ready to, you know that feeling when you're just on a night? I mean, that's what I try to keep my clients in that state throughout the entire night.
LaDolce speaks at dozens of universities every year, and you can catch him tonight at the City Campus Union. America's bridges are unsafe. In fact, nearly 1 in 9 bridges in America is structurally deficient, according to the Federal Highway Administration. And UNL professor Zhigong Shen is trying to fix them. He developed a data management tool that could help officials monitor the country's nearly 70,000 bridges in need of repair. To start, Shen made a 3D model of the Mormon Bridge that crosses the Missouri River near Omaha. Shen hopes his program can spread to help other states better monitor their bridge conditions. Morrill Hall will be lit up this weekend as the Mueller Planetarium hosts 3 laser light shows. One of them, the Black History Laser Tribute, celebrates the contributions of African-American musicians and public figures like Martin Luther King Jr.
Would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
The laser show can be seen tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday afternoon. This has been your Campus News Reports. I'm Michael Shively. Now let's send it back to Doug and Rachel.
Thanks, Michael. You know, that was really cool. We got to see a little bit of that laser show earlier off of the internet. It was really neat looking. I might want to go to that.
I will definitely need to catch the rest of that. That's definitely something I want to see. And when we come back, Facebook has a new policy you might want to hear about.
Oh, do you have any Valentine's Day plans necessarily?
I'm actually working for most of Valentine's Day and then meeting up with one of my best friends. And then I might be walking around downtown and telling people about, educating them about 50 Shades of Grey and why they should not go.
Welcome back. Facebook has added a new legacy option to its site. This will give access to their deceased users' accounts. The upgrade will let users archive their loved ones' photos, posts, and profile information. Other settings will stay the same. For example, they will not be able to log in as the person, read their private messages, or download their contacts. For more on social media, let's send it over to David Gass.
I'm David Gass. I'm David Gass with Social Media News, and here's what's trending. Turned down for what? Definitely not nap time, according to 1-year-old named Evan, who's the star of a birthday video that's gone viral. His father, Calvin Lee of Calvin Lee Films, put together the ultimate invitation for his son's first birthday. Let's check it out. Now, speaking of babies, we've heard a lot about the phrase children raising children in reference to parents having kids when they're far too young to take care of them. Well, listen to this. Doctors in Hong Kong recently identified a rare condition that has caused a 9-month-old child to be pregnant with twins. Doctors say they originally thought they had found 2 tumors in the infant's stomach, but later discovered that the so-called tumor had sprung arms and legs. Doctors say the parents should have been expecting triplets, but clearly the 2 siblings ended up in the wrong place. Enough about kids. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and I'm sure we've all had a date or two that didn't go according to plan. Well, I stumbled across a popular video online of a few guys who were paired with a smoking hot blonde for a blind date. The woman suggested that she drive them to lunch. The issue? She didn't know how to drive a stick. Little did the guys know they had been macking on a professional stunt driver. Although none of these guys landed a date for the holiday this weekend, at least they have a story they'll never forget. I'm David Gass, and this has been your Social Media News. For more on these stories and others, check out Twitter and Facebook at Star City News 15.
Thanks, David. Rachel, would you ever try speed dating?
I don't think so. That's not my style, but I'm all about that driving. I could definitely do that.
I could see you being the speedster on the roads. Let's send it over to Tanner Westerholt to fill us in on what's going on in entertainment.
Hello, I'm Tanner Westerholt with your entertainment news around the country. Parents in Pennsylvania were shocked when their middle school kids came home with provocative homework. The teacher involved says it was an accident when several students received word searches based on the erotic novel and movie 50 Shades of Grey. Words like bondage, spanking, dominance, and even submit were just a few words on the puzzle. The school is investigating the incident. An error led by Netflix led to several Americans skipping work and going home. Why? Netflix accidentally put online the entire season 3 of the hit series House of Cards before its original release date on February 27th. The blunder lasted only 30 minutes until Netflix removed the series, but allowed fans to get a sneak peek at the upcoming series. That show might have been released early, but one director wouldn't mind releasing his movie sooner.
And the light.
J.J. Abrams wants the release date of his upcoming movie, Star Wars The Force Awakens, to be pushed up 6 months from the original release date in December. Abrams says the alleged leaks of both the plot and images of the film will make the movie unwatchable for the audience. That's it for your entertainment news around the country. I am Tanner Westerholt. Now let's go back to Doug and Kelsey.
Thanks, Tanner. Lastly tonight, we want to wish what would be a happy 206th birthday to Abraham Lincoln.
You know, I bet Honest Abe would have bought his anchor partner some flowers for Valentine's Day.
Not so fast, my friend. I'm way ahead of you.
That was smooth.
That is going to do it for our tonight's newscast. To keep up to date on all things Star City News, remember to follow us on Twitter and like our page on Facebook. Don't miss next Tuesday for the first episode of Star City Sports. For Star City News, I'm Doug Lowry.
And I'm Rachel Hofstra.
Have a good night.